Hello and welcome to this video. When the soul decides to leave, we are eternal soul beings of light that have been created by our Creator, God. Just as the entire world and its nature have been created for human beings to develop and grow through spiritual values. Eternity is the never-ending circle of life that all humans follow as it unfolds before us. During the moments of our reincarnation, the soul gathers the stardust that builds the dense physical body through which we experience life on Earth. The concept of God may be confusing to many, but for me, God is the creator of me, who resides within me. Therefore, everything I feel, God also feels, because He is within me. The world holds the female aspect of God, to which humans have given the name Gaia, which means the goddess of earth. God created us to be both masculine and feminine. During the process of reincarnation, we choose to be either masculine or feminine in any given lifetime, and will reincarnate accordingly to one's karmic pathway in life. The soul knows the pathway it has to follow prior to its reincarnation, because when in heaven, the soul has looked at its previous lives and has seen the errors it has made. This is why the soul chooses to reincarnate into the country, place, parents, and karmic group with whom it can grow karmically. On one's journey in life, the soul is their director, whilst the spirit empowers and motivates the dense physical body to move in the direction that it's been guided to follow, even if it's life-threatening. The greater majority of people reincarnate under the law of karma, which was created to transform the consciousness of the ego that exists in the greater majority of people that are in third-dimensional consciousness. The ego only exists in the logical left hemisphere of the brain, which is why the ego will do anything to prevent you from stepping into the light of higher consciousness, because it cannot exist in the light that higher consciousness holds. This is the only reason why the law of karma was created, and is so important for us to fully understand and embrace. As you continue to live your life, you may begin to understand that there is no such thing as an accident, and that there is a reason why things happen. If you begin to look at life objectively and go beyond the ego judgment, you may find the reason why things happen to you and others. It's like looking outside of the box that the ego wants to keep you in. Then you may begin to understand that there is always a reason why things happen, which may open your eyes and consciousness towards finding alternative answers. For example, when it comes to coma, there are two forms of coma, which are 1. The coma of death. 2. The coma of restitution. Here are examples of both. The coma of death. I had been invited to visit a man in a private hospital by a doctor who was managing the coma section of the hospital. When I met up with the doctor, I was taken to a private room where I could be alone with the patient, and I immediately sat down next to the patient and telepathically connected to his soul. He told me that he had worked on the railway lines as an electrician when one day he was called out to repair a broken electrical cable that was directly connected to the railway line. He continued by saying that for some reason the broken connection, which should have been off, was turned back on, which electrified him and resulted in him being in a coma. I notified the doctor of what the patient had confided to me, and she said it was true. She then thanked me for sharing the information. The next day, I revisited the hospital by request. I met up with the same doctor, who said that she had given the permission for the life support machine to be turned off. Then I realized that this was the coma of death, and that the physical body was artificially being kept alive, but the soul wanted to leave into the heavenly body and will reincarnate when the law of karma activates itself accordingly. The coma of restitution. I visited a friend that had been in an accident and was in hospital in a coma. Somehow it didn't feel right that he was in such a predicament, and during my visit many family friends came to see him. Two days later, a friend told me that he had come out of the coma and was now fully conscious, and I asked, how did it happen? He said his wife was sitting next to him with a recorder that was playing his favorite songs for many hours at a time. Then, suddenly, he opened his eyes and gave a small smile. Then I understood that the power of love for music was a strong grounding force that brought his soul back to full consciousness. These two examples give us an insight into how the soul is universally connected to all things, and as such will know when the lifespan of any individual is complete and will decide when to leave. I thank you for watching and listening to this video. Peace, love and light, Ralph Jenkins.